Imagine this. A billionaire CEO, known as the coldest woman in the city, walks into a five-star restaurant with her little son. But in one single night, everything changes forever. She sees a poor black single dad in a faded shirt, and what she does next will shock you, move you, and probably make you cry. Keep watching, because this true-like story is about to flip everything you think you know about money, love, and family. The five-star restaurant, the chandelier, shimmered. Golden chandeliers glowed brilliantly, reflecting Victoria's icy diamond jewelry. The notoriously cold 32-year-old CEO, Victoria Whitmore, entered with her 6-year-old son, Ethan. Ethan tightly clutched her expensive designer dress, whispering, "Mom, I'm scared of the crowd." Victoria was heading to the VIP section when she abruptly stopped. She saw a single dad, weary but smiling in a faded shirt, expertly cutting pasta for his giggling 7-year-old daughter. Ethan froze, utterly captivated. Victoria frowned deeply. "Ethan, stop staring at that humble table." But the boy whispered, "Mom, I want to sit next to them." Jerome Williams, 36, was exhausted but happy. His warm brown skin glistened slightly under the golden lights. He was a black single father, juggling 2 demanding jobs, a delivery driver by day and a building maintenance man by night. All to provide for his 7-year-old daughter, Maya. Their life was frugal, but rich in love. Despite their limited budget, Jerome always made sure to take Maya out for a special, inexpensive weekend meal to celebrate small victories. Today was especially important. Maya had brought home a perfect report card. The restaurant was far out of their league, but Jerome had found a small hidden cafe next door that served excellent pasta. When a staff member at the cafe mistakenly seated them in a quiet, low-profile corner of the main high-end dining area, Jerome didn't correct them, fearing the shame of being moved. He simply wanted Maya to enjoy the fancy lights for just one evening. Maya was a ray of sunshine, her bright smile lighting up her beautiful dark face. Curious and remarkably friendly, always eager to strike up a conversation with anyone nearby, she was busy admiring the shimmering chandeliers, entirely unaware that the most powerful woman in the city was about to walk into her life. Victoria Whitmore, meanwhile, had chosen this evening for a carefully planned soft media moment, a controlled bit of humanity to warm her icy image. She had planned to take the private VIP table. But Ethan refused to move. "Mom, I want to sit with that girl," Ethan insisted, pulling her sleeve. "She looks so happy." Victoria, a woman whose life revolved around logic and strategy, was shocked by her son's sudden emotion. He was usually as quiet and reserved as she was. She realized her own wealth had bought him silence, not joy. A nervous floor manager approached, whispering, "Madam, that family, they may not be suitable for your seating area. Perhaps the main dining room?" Victoria looked from her son's pleading eyes to the manager's rude face. Her voice turned ice cold. "My son decides," she stated flatly. She walked straight to Jerome's small corner table. Jerome looked up and nearly choked on his water. He was suddenly face to face with Victoria Whitmore, the woman on every business magazine cover. Victoria skipped all pleasantries. "My son wishes to join your table. May we?" Maya, delighted by the idea of a new friend, beamed. "Yes, you can sit right here, miss." Jerome, overwhelmed by expensive perfume and pure billionaire energy, quickly pulled out a chair for her. In that moment he thought, "She belongs to another world entirely. Why would she want to sit with us?" The 2 children connected instantly. Ethan, shy moments ago, was pulled in by Maya's infectious laughter. They talked about school, cartoons, and superpowers. Jerome and Victoria, 2 people from completely different worlds, sat in awkward silence. The only thing they shared was the deep love for their kids. As Jerome gently cut Maya's pasta into perfect little pieces, Ethan leaned over, eyes wide. Victoria watched Jerome's strong, dark, scarred hands that clearly knew hard work. She realized that Jerome, with his simple jobs, gave something her highly paid nannies never could, real hands-on love. Then Ethan asked softly, "Sir, can you cut mine for me too?" Victoria froze. Her son had never asked anyone except the nanny to do such a small, loving thing. He trusted this stranger in seconds. People at nearby tables noticed. The cold billionaire sitting with a poor black man in a worn shirt. Whispers started. Is she having a breakdown? Some kind of charity stunt? Victoria tensed, ready to leave. But Ethan grabbed her arm. Mom, I like him. He's like a superhero. Maya jumped in. My daddy is a superhero. He can fix anything. He fixed the whole building's furnace last week. Victoria smiled, a real smile she hadn't felt in years. Jerome, feeling the stares, ordered the cheapest thing on the menu. Ethan said cheerfully, I want the same dish as Maya. The waiter looked at Jerome's old shirt and cheap watch, then spoke with clear disgust. Can you afford that, sir? That's a premium dish. We don't do charity here. Victoria's eyes flashed with fury. Bring 2 more servings and send the check to my corporate account immediately, she commanded. The waiter nearly ran away. A rich woman from another table said loudly, I thought the Whitmore family dined with the elite, not janitors. What a spectacle, Victoria. Jerome lowered his head, used to that kind of hate. But Maya stood up on her chair, tiny fists clenched. My daddy is better than everyone here. He helps people. You are all mean. Ethan stood too. Mr. Jerome is better than all the boring drivers at my house. He knows how to smile. Victoria watched these 2 little kids defend Jerome like an army, and something inside her broke open. Then everything changed again. Victoria's assistant rushed in, panicked. Miss Whitmore, emergency board meeting. Someone is trying to take the company. They have evidence. Victoria's face went white. Her hands started shaking. The pressure finally crushed her. Jerome saw it instantly, signs of low blood sugar from extreme stress. His old training kicked in. He grabbed water and sugar packets, pushed them into her hand calm and fast. Victoria drank, color came back to her face. She looked at him, voice shaking. Why? Why did you help me? You didn't owe me anything after how they treated you. Jerome looked at terrified little Ethan and said simply, Because your son needs his mother alive. And no mother should collapse in front of her child. In that moment Victoria realized, surrounded by people who wanted her money and power, the only person who saw her as a human, as a mom, was the man everyone else looked down on. She took Jerome, Maya, and Ethan to the private VIP lounge, away from staring eyes. The kids played and laughed. Victoria finally let her guard down. They're trying to say I'm not fit to run the company. They needed a medical crisis, and I just gave them one on video. Jerome listened, then spoke like the doctor and soldier he used to be. That's why you collapsed? Fear of losing control. You're running on empty, Miss Whitmore. She stared. How do you know all this? Ethan ran in. Tell the story about the smoke, Uncle Jerome. Jerome took a deep breath and told the truth he had hidden for years. I was an emergency trauma doctor in the military. Combat medicine, psychological triage. But I left after my wife died because of a surgical mistake, while I was deployed. I was saving strangers, but I wasn't there for her. So I quit. I chose to never be far from Maya again. Victoria saw him for the first time, not the janitor, but a hero carrying guilt. Then Ethan suddenly grabbed his chest, face white, gasping. Panic attack. Triggered by watching his mom collapse. Victoria reached for him, but she didn't know how to calm him. Jerome scooped the boy up, held him close, talked him through breathing the way he once did for soldiers. Minutes later Ethan relaxed completely against Jerome's chest and whispered, You smell like clean air, Uncle Jerome. Victoria cried silent tears. Her billions couldn't buy what this man just gave her son in minutes. Right then the assistant burst in again. The video is viral. The board is moving to remove you tonight. Victoria collapsed into a chair. It's over. Jerome's voice turned strong, the voice of a man who once ran into fire. You are not just a CEO. You are a mother. And they're using that against you. We don't hide the video. We flip it. We showed the world a mother exhausted from fighting men who want to steal her family's legacy. We turned their weapon into your strength. He broke down every detail, the timing, the leak, the traitor behind it all. He named the man, Mr. Crawford, and exactly how to destroy the coup. Victoria stared in shock. You just did in 10 minutes what my entire legal team couldn't do in hours. She looked at him, voice soft. Come home with us tonight. Please. At the mansion, the children ran wild with joy. Maya showed Ethan how to build forts with blankets, something his expensive toys never taught him. Laughter filled rooms that had always been silent. Over dinner, Victoria laughed, really laughed, for the first time in years. Later, on the terrace under the city lights, she said, I thought I could buy everything my son needed. Tonight I learned I only bought him loneliness. You gave him 10 minutes of safety my fortune couldn't purchase. Jerome answered, Money creates distance, Victoria. Love closes it. She asked, voice breaking, Will you come to the company tomorrow? I need someone I trust completely by my side. He looked at her, then at the kids. For your son, I will. The next morning, Jerome walked into the emergency shareholders meeting holding Victoria's hand, Maya and Ethan walking in front, holding hands too. The room went dead silent. Crawford smirked, ready to play the video. Jerome took the screen. With calm, deadly precision, he destroyed the conspiracy, proved the video was planned and leaked on purpose, showed medical proof it was simple stress, not illness. Then he exposed every email, every order from Crawford himself. The board turned on Crawford in seconds. He was escorted out, finished forever. Mrs. Thornton, the same woman who insulted them in the restaurant, now asked with respect, Who is this man? Victoria looked at Jerome, eyes shining. This is Jerome Williams. The only person who never turned his back on me. The man who saved my life, reminded me how to be a mother, and from today he is my Chief Strategy and Wellness Officer. His job is to remind this entire company what we forgot: people matter more than profit. The board offered him everything. He refused until they promised flexible hours so he could always pick Maya up from school. He wanted every parent in the company to have the same. Ethan hugged his leg. Please stay forever, Uncle Jerome. Victoria stepped close, voice soft for only him to hear. I want you to stay too, Jerome. As my partner in every way. We can build a life where our children's laughter matters more than titles. Maya giggled and grabbed Ethan's hand. So are we brother and sister now? Can we share a room in the big house? Jerome laughed through happy tears. I think fate just made us a family. The sun set. Four shadows walked together, no longer two separate worlds. A cold billionaire and a struggling single dad became something stronger: parents, partners, family. Built not by money or blood, but by one night of kindness, courage, and love that changed everything. If stories like this touch your heart, drop a comment, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to remember: real wealth is measured in love.